Ladies and gentlemen, in this ifactner's learning video tutorial, we will learn to write 4 Urdu characters of Urdu alphabet. We will learn to write their independent position, shape, initial position shape, middle position shape, and final position shape. These characters or letters include fe, kaf और कैंची वाला काफ, काफ, कुत्ते वाला काफ, and गाफ. Let's start our lesson. Today's first letter is kaf, a fe. So how do we write fe in its independent position? We draw a circle and then curve it down. Then we write it just like bay and we put a dot on top of it. Let me show you one more time. A circle, curve, and a boat like shape just like bay and a dot on top of it. You can also write it in this way, like you write bay and then put a circle on the right hand side and put a dot on top of it. So now let's see how do we write fe in its initial position, that is when fe appears at the beginning of the word. So when fe appears at the beginning of the word, then you just make a circle and then a little curve, and you don't write the whole boat thing or the bay like structure. So you just take this first part and put a dot on top of it. Let me show you one more time. A circle with a little curve. Now let's see how do we write fe when in a word. So we have a word called fawara. Fawara means fountain, and fawara is fe. I will use different colors for wow. Wow, alif, re, he, fawara. Let me write it one more time. Fe, wow, alif, re, he, fawara. Fawara means fountain. Now when fe appears in the middle of the word, then we need to add these two connectors before the circle part of the fe and after the circle part of the fe. So this is a connector, then a circle, and then another connector, and on top of it we have a dot. Now we have a word mufat. Mufat means free. How do we write mufat? Mim, fe, and te. Mufat. Let me show you one more time. Mim, then fe, and then te. One dot on top of fe and two dots on top of te, and we get ourselves mufat. Now when fe appears at the end of the word, or let's see how do we write fe in its final position shape. So you just add a connector and then write the whole fe. You add the connector and then write fe. There is a word which is naaf. Naaf means uh, nasal. So how do we write naf? Noon, alif, and fe. Naf. But here you can see that alif is not joined to fe. So let me think of a word in which fe is connected to the last character or second last connector. We have a word saf, and saf means line. So how do we write saf? Swad and then fe. Saf. Let's move forward, and we have cough. Cough, and we call it as kanji wala cough, and it makes a sound of Q in English. So the next character is cough, and for the beginner they sound alike, but the difference is just the difference of Q sound in English and K sound in English. So cough makes the Q like sound, cough. And the next character, which is calf, makes the K sound. Now let's see how do we write calf. To write calf in its independent position, you make a circle just like fe, make a curve, but this time you make a semicircle. Instead of bay-like structure or boat-like structure, we make a full semicircle just like noon and noona, and we put two dots on top of it and we get ourselves calf. Let me show you one more time. Full circle and then a big semicircle and two dots on top of it, and we have calf. Now to write calf in its initial position, we just take the first part, which is the full circle and a little curve, and then a connector. So you just make a full circle, small full circle, curve, and then a connector. Put two dots on calf. We have a word called kenchi. Kenchi means a pair of scissors. Now let's see how do we write kenchi. And here you will only focus on calf. Calf, and then ye, and then noon, then che, and in the end chotiye. Put three dots under che and one dot on top of noon, and we get ourselves kenchi. Let me write it down, but this time I will not use different colors. Calf, ye, noon, che, chotiye, and then you put all the dots. Two dots on calf, two dots under chotiye, one dot on noon, and three dots under che, kenchi. Now let's see how do we write calf when it appears in between two characters. You just add the connector and then just make the whole circle just like fe, and then add an other connector. And instead of one dot in fe, we put two dots on top of calf. So let me show you how do we write. This is a connector, then a full circle, and then another connector. This is calf in the middle, and we have a word called mukallam. Mukallam has been derived from the word kalam. Kalam means pen, and mukallam, the one who writes. Let's see how do we write mukallam. Meme, then this kaf, then lam, and in the end meme. Mukallam, meme, zabar, kaf, lam, meme, mukallam. Let me show you one more time. Meme, then kaf, then lam, and in the end meme, and two dots on top of kaf, and it becomes mukallam. Now when kaf appears at the end of the word, then we use a connector and then write the whole kaf just like it's in independent position. We use a connector and then write kaf. Now there is a word called fak, and fak means yellow in Urdu. How do we write it? Fe kaf, or ufak is also another word. Now let's move forward and see how do we write kaf. Now let me tell you that if you learn how do we write kaf in Urdu, then you will be able to write kaf in all its positions, just like kaf. So just concentrate on kaf. So how do we write kaf? We make this slanting line, vertical line, curve a little, and make a boat-like structure. And then we make a horizontal slanting line on top of the vertical slanting line, and we get ourselves kaf. Now kaf can be divided in three parts. Just I will use different colors this time. This curve, then this boat-like structure, and this horizontal line, kaf. Now when kaf appears in its independent position, in its initial position, then we just use this part. So slanting vertical line with a curve and a connector and a slanting horizontal line. Let's see how do we write kaf with a word. There's a word called kab. Kab means when. Let's see how do we write it. Kaf, and then we join it with be. Kab. Kaf zabar be, kab. Kab means when. Let me show you one more time. Kaf, be, kab. Now when kaf appears in the middle of the word, then we need to use the two connectors, one before kaf and the second before the second after the kaf. So we write kaf like this when it is being connected, and then a connector. So let's see how do we write kaf when it appears in the middle of the word. We have a city name called Makkah, which is a holy city, and let's see how do we write kaf in it. Meme, kaf, and then hey, Makkah. Now I will use different colors to show you the position of kaf. First we need to write meme, and then kaf. Just add a little connector here, then this slanting line, and then another connector, and then we write hey, which it becomes Makkah. Now when kaf appears at the end of the word, then we just need to add the connector before it, and then write the whole kaf. A connector, and then write the whole kaf at the end. We have a word ek. Ek means one, and we can write it just like this: alif, ye, kaf. Ek. Now let's move to gaf. It is written just like kaf, and it is being connected to other characters just like kaf, but we just need to add this slanting line on top of it. So gaf in its independent position is written just like kaf, but with another slanting horizontal line on top of it. Gaf in its initial position is written just like the first part of kaf, but with a slanting horizontal line on top of it. There is a word called gal. Gal means cheek, and let's see how do we write gal. Gaf, alif, lam. Now you will see that when we are writing kaf or gal with alif, then we make a little different shape. Let me show you. We make it a circle to connect it to alif, and lam. Ghar. Yes. Let's see how do we write ghar, which is a house. And here we will use a little different shape of gaf. Gaf. And then he and re. Ghar. So you see that when it is being connected to other characters, then it is written little different than when it is being connected to alif or lam, because in case of kaf we can write a word kal, and let me show you how do you write kal. So here we make a circle and then write lam. So you can see that kaf is also written like this. So we take its first this part and then we'll curve it a little and add the next character. And now let's see how do we write gaf when it appears in the middle of the word or in between two characters. You need to add two connectors to connect it to the other characters and just write it like gaf. So let me show you a connector and then the part of gaf. Let's see how do we write gaf when it becomes in between two words. We have a word mangal. Mangal means Tuesday. It's a day. Let's see how do we write it. Me, noon, and then gal, and we write gaf like this because it is being connected to lam. Mangal, me, noon, a circle for gaf, slanting line, and then lam, mangal. And let's see how do we write gaf when it is connected to other characters. For example, re, magar. Magar means if. Agar, magar, but. Magar means but. Agar means if. So let's see how do we write magar. Meme, gaf, and re, magar. This is magar. Let me show you one more time. How do we write magar? Meme, gaf, re. Magar. Meme, gaf, and re. Magar. Now when gaf appears at the end of the word, then you need to add a connector and write the whole gaf. There's a word called thug. Thug means of fraudier or a thief. And let's see how do we write thug. Te, he, and gaf. Thug. Mug. Mean, gaf. Mug. Mug is a bird. Mug. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how do we write fe, kaf, कैंची वाला calf, कुत्ते वाला calf, and gaf in Urdu language. If you have any questions or comments, then please use the comment section below. Please like this video tutorial and share it with your friends and family members. If you would like to get the notifications, then please subscribe to my channel. I will see you next time. Until then, take care, keep learning, keep enjoying. Good day.